Yeah, I was an idiot the way I was fighting them.
Where do you want me? Here or here?
There. Like this way?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Tackle Shop Live.
A sunny day, right there you took my breath away. A young and pretty, was it just a dream?
Yo, 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 everybody!
The next day you called me up, you told me I'm your little buttercup.
Yeah, we're last spin today. The lights are out. Nick's working on the lights.
Well, I know
we got all kinds of stuff going on. Greg DiPalma's here, screwing up everything. Robert Berry, how you doing, buddy? East Stacks Fishing. Yo, buddy. Jim Saban. Tim McSee, how are you? Lane Graves, what's up, buddy? All right, man. Broadsback Bassett's in the house. Patrick Kingery. What up, brother? Good to see you, pal. Michael Bradley, Bob Donahue, man. Always here. Always here. Patrick, yeah, man, I tell you. Right on. Conway, what's up with you, buddy? Matthew Weimer, yo, buddy. Got your rod back now. Now you're ready to go. You're all together now, brother. You're all together, Matthew. You're one. You're one, buddy. Yeah, bud. Galen Heathcote, what up, man? Sam and Sam in the house. Johnny Kopp. Wow, we got a great show for you guys tonight. Good to see everybody here. MD Kayak Angler. Oh, buddy, do I want to talk to you? Man, oh, man, do we have something for the kayak anglers? You heard us announce it here last week. We're going to bring it to you again for the people who haven't heard. We are putting on a kayak tournament. That's right. SFT is busted into the kayak scene with the largest kayak tournament in the Northeast. We're going to try to make it the biggest, best thing ever. And we are going to have a great kayak tournament for you that we're going to get into the information here in just a second. We are Tackle Shop Live. We come at you every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. My name is Mike Acord. George Acord's hustling around here somewhere. And behind the camera is cameraman Nick. As always, the big dog is in the house. And today's special guest, my man, Greg DiPalma. Nice to see you, Greg.
Good to be here, Mikey.
Yeah, buddy. Good to see you, pal.
And Mike, you're saying about kayaks, he knows a little something about kayaks.
He sure does. And, it took us a while to get into the kayak scene.
Yeah.
But we wanted to do an awesome tournament, as we always do our tournaments. Bigger, better, always.
You guys are in probably one of the best locations for a kayak tournament.
You ain't kidding. We got the Susquehanna River, and our tournament's going to be on the Susquehanna River. It is on September the 20th is going to be the Susquehanna River Classic put on by SFTtackle.com, Susquehanna Fishing Tackle, and 13 Fishing is our title sponsor. They're jumping on aboard. They are so excited about it. They're fired up. We were talking with them on and off now for the last couple of weeks, and they are just stoked. They're so stoked that they're going to make available a brand new fishing rod for every angler that signs up for this event. The entry fee is $150, but you're going to get a $100 rod at time of sign up.
Wow.
Yep. You're going to come for registration. We're going to hand you a brand new 13 Fishing Oath rod, right, George?
Oath.
Yeah. And it's no joke. We picked those rods up, and it's just one of those freaking rods. You pick it up. It's light. It's sensitive. The tapers are great. It's a great little rod. It's going to be great for you guys, addition to your lineup. And it's valued at $100. So it's part of the entry. You get that for your entry into the tournament. And the other big thing about our tournament is top prize with a field of 150 anglers is $10,000 first place prize. We're paying out over $18,000 for the tournament, and the top prize is 10 grand, bro.
Can I fish? So is it a 1-day event, 2 days?
1-day event.
Wow.
Yep, 1-day event. So it's going to be a sleigh fest out there. It's a big deal. It's a 1-day event, so you guys don't have to take off a lot of work. You guys can come from all over the country. We expect people to come from everywhere
For sure. They will.
to this event, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You know the way we do things. We do things. We want the great anglers. We want the guys who just are thinking about getting into a tournament. That's the people we want. We want you guys to try this out. We're going to put on a great event. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be competitive, and it's going to be a great event. You don't want to miss out on this. It's the Susquehanna River Classic Tournament 2025, September the 20th. The sign up is going to be available in the next day or so through Tourney X. And for you kayak guys, I know you know about Tourney X, but what you'll do is you'll go to the Tourney X site, and you can search the tournament name or Susquehanna Fishing Tackle, and boom, it'll pop right up.
Yep.
And then you'll sign right up in there. You'll pay right there, and you'll be logged in. And then we'll have our registration the night before here at the store. And that's the way you guys can come visit, take advantage of some great sale items here in the shop, and register and get your board measured and checked in and get your card. So all the details are going to roll out thick and fast and heavy over the next couple of weeks. So keep your eyes peeled for it. And I hope all you guys can make it. Anybody that ever was thinking about a tournament, this is the one you're going to want to fish, because SFT puts on a great event every time. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. And people are going to talk about it big time. So you don't want to miss out on this. So hope everybody can join us. Absolutely. But like I said, we have a great show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about some great topics tonight with Greg. He is been touring all over the place, and he just ran off on us. He's going to grab some things, but he's been touring all over the place. We're going to get his take on the season so far, what's been going on, what's going on with Greg, and then we're going to jump into one of his favorite topics, and that's jig fishing in the summertime, creeks, rivers, that kind of thing, what to do, what to look for. And so that's going to be a pretty cool thing. And then we're going to go, of course, into our tackle talk and some little bit of tournament talk. And it's going to be just another great show. And I appreciate everybody stopping in today and checking it out. Greggy, so you're what, 2/3 through the season, would you say?
More than that. We only have 2 events left.
Two events left?
2.
Yeah. So you know, I know what I want to talk about, but in your mind, what was the standout thing for you so far this year? That was just like, damn, that was awesome.
Let me think. I mean, it's hard to go against the first event of the year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no.
Drop the mic.
Oh, no, there's something else. Let me think. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
There was a lot of really cool moments this year.
I mean, you're the first turn right out of the gate.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You're just slaying giants.
I called these 2 on the phone, and I said, I need some baits. And I don't remember what I said to you guys, but I was like, I think it's going to go down.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was that many there.
Yeah.
But that was pretty special. But you know, I'm going to go with 10 killer, the last event. And I'm going to tell you why. Because everyone else missed it, it never happens. 2 things I figured out on 10 killer. So the water was mid-80s, so it was super hot. I found fish on beds, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
So I found the last day of practice, and they were fry garters, most of them. Some were paired up. They were in like 10, 12 feet of water on scope. I don't know how the guys missed it, because they were visible as heck when you saw the fry. I mean, it was really, it stood out. And there's some open banks too, which is crazy. But besides that, I caught most of them fish out of 50 and 60 feet of water, and nobody else found it where I was.
It's nuts.
And it's a tiny lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Yeah.
The fact that wasn't found on banks that had 2/3 of the field rotating through.
Yep.
You know, which is a great, you know, we always do takeaways from the major tours.
Yep.
So we call it lessons learned, takeaways. And one of the takeaways we didn't talk about from that tournament, which I thought resonates in the Northeast big time. You know, we always talk about fishing pressure. That place is getting pounded. No, 10 killer got pounded.
And
10 killer got pounded. It was like taking, SEAL Team 6 of fishing and putting them on a lake for 6 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
13,000 acre lake. That is tiny. We normally fish, I would say, 75 to 150,000 acre lakes. This was 13,000, and half of it was blown out by mud.
Yeah, exactly.
So put that in perspective.
Yeah.
It rained a little, didn't it?
10 inches or something in one day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous. My pump never stopped. Never.
One of the things that I heard you say, and tell me if I'm wrong, was you camped out on some fish for like almost the whole entire tournament.
I did.
Like that, and that's like not what you usually do.
No, I took them for all they're worth every single day. And by the third day of the tournament, it really showed.
Yeah.
But it got me the finish I got.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
20th place was a great finish.
It's a phenomenal finish. Absolutely.
It's got you sitting. So we running the numbers to the best of our knowledge. It's kind of complicated to predict finishes and standings and all that stuff in bass.
Yep.
I think they kind of keep it that way intentionally, but we were running the numbers the best we could, and boy, those last couple tournaments got you sitting pretty.
Yeah,
you can't take your foot off the gas.
You absolutely cannot. If the general public fished one elite event and put themselves where we are in position wise and actually felt what we feel and see what it takes, it is unbelievable how good everyone is. It don't matter if it's MLF, if it's Bassmaster, or a handful of the NPFL guys. Like, it's tough, dude. It's not even next level. It's on a whole different category.
Yeah. Yeah. It's every time when they start talking about conditions, it's tough with this, it's tough with that. You guys figured out. You always figure it out, and it's like, how in the hell?
Because it's just like everybody's just so, it's not even naturally good anymore. It's like everybody at this level pushes everybody to get so much better. Yeah. Like, I am so much better this year than I was last year and the year prior. Every single year I'm getting better and better because the guys that I'm fishing against are beating my butt. So I got to get better.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem locally. I think with a lot of stuff, like, guys don't like guys coming in that are really good because they don't think they can beat them. Well, you're already beat. If you're going to fish a tournament, why are you going to fish it for not catching them? You got to be pushed to get better. I don't care what sport it is. It's just how it is.
I agree with that 100%. I'd rather fish I'd rather beat the best guys than to go and fish, the secondary
100%.
field,
100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the other thing I know everybody wants to talk about, and that is Okeechobee.
Okay.
I mean, here you are, you're fishing, you're practicing, you call us up, you're like, dude, I don't know, but I found this thing and it is just going to be crazy. I need these baits, and can you get them to me? And we're like, oh, hell yeah, we'll get them to you. But he said, this is going to be, if it turns out, it's going to be crazy. And all of a sudden you launched a boat and you run to your spot, and then there's 3 other guys sitting on it.
Yeah, there was 3 guys. No, there was 2 guys. Polnick was the 4th to come in. Polnick was going to leave. We all told him to stay. Boy, were we stupid.
Yeah.
Looking back on some of my career choices,
that was not a smart one.
Let's invite the equivalent of long-range assassin into our fishing hole.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the first day one, you come out of the freaking gates with a freaking monster bag, and I know you were pissed even with that bag, because 20 All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Had some technical difficulties.
Mother Nature
I really don't know what that's all about. But
flashing her powers at us.
who knows?
We've been getting our daily epic thunderstorm at this shop every day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
2-3 inches of rain in an hour.
Yeah.
Violent wind.
Yeah.
I mean, the ceiling was leaking
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so the power went out.
We had a snafu with the electrical system. But what was I saying?
2912.
Yeah, I mean 2912. I know you were pissed.
So I checked in and I texted these two right away. I said, I think I had a dirty 30.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
thought I had 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I know you were pissed because you were that close. And when's the next time you're going to get that close? But 2912. I mean, honestly.
Here's what everybody doesn't know. So obviously all of us got along on the spot. You saw it. So we all kind of made a pact that if you get to a certain weight, you got to get off the spot. So we called it the timeout box. You're in timeout.
Yeah.
So Will Davis was the first one in timeout. He had maybe 26. I think he had. I think we said 25 was the mark. 25 or whatever, you're off.
Yeah.
So Will caught 26, and then I had like 24 or something like that. So I went to the timeout box. But when I went to the timeout box and I was just sitting there talking to Will Davis, my on the spot lock, my scope turned and I saw a fish hovering. I threw it over to it and I called a 7-1. It was like I could not do any wrong. So that gave me 29-12. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you guys.
I was in timeout, I promise.
I was far away from the spot.
Yeah.
When you're in it, you're in it.
That's it. So
Yep.
yeah.
When
Wow.
you're in it, you're
So
in it.
what was the draw to that area?
I think there's a couple things. There was a lot of bait up there. Number one, there was a current feed that would come through the spillway that was there, but it was also the very end of the canal, if you will. And I think, I think they had all the right ingredients. It had the bait, had the current, and that was really the only area that had really good contour in the whole canal. So it just made a really good area for the fish.
Was it a hump there or
So yeah, it was
or-
kind of like a little high spot, and against the bank had a trough that ran through it.
And it looked like the
yeah.
crappie were in there because
Oh yeah,
all 4 days I watched it. We all watched it.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was the same crappie boat, which was probably a guide sitting on the bank in the background.
Yep.
In the same exact spot.
there was crappie everywhere.
They must have been just stacking them.
Thick. There was, like I said, there's so much bait up there.
Or as they call them in Florida, specks.
Sack of light, whatever they call
That's
Yeah.
in Louisiana.
them.
Get your boundaries right.
How many big fish did you lose?
The last day I lost enough to scare Brandon.
Really?
Oh, snap.
Man.
I mean, I'm not saying I could have won it, but it would have been darn close.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, you don't think you're going to go to Florida and crankbait a 30-pound bag.
Yeah, a crankbait. And so there was 2 really big players for me. A crankbait was the big player for myself and Brandon, but a wobble head was really good for me
Mm.
with a big worm on it. Yep.
Awesome.
And the jerk bait that we sent you, did that play at all?
No, it didn't, because the way
You
that
sent the wrong color.
no, he sent the right color. So the conditions, number 1, in practice were a little bit different. But 2, once all of us got lined up on it, I couldn't fish it that way. That 7-1 that I did catch off the timeout box was on the crankbait or on the
Jerk bait.
jerkbait,
Oh, okay.
because I saw it and I just
7-1
Yeah.
on a jerkbait.
Oh, it was scary.
That is scary.
It wasn't
man.
easy.
I bet that's not easy.
No.
They
So that-
pull, they
so
pull
that's-
so freaking hard. It's unreal.
Those big fish on a big worm on a wobblehead.
Mm.
You're just going big rod, right? I mean,
know,
big. The biggest thing you got in the boat.
listen, I'm gonna be honest. I was not prepared to throw that. I had it on, or I had it in my box sitting there, and Will Davis was catching them really good on a 10-inch old monster worm, like in the morning. So I grabbed my wobblehead. So I grabbed wobblehead, tied it on. I put it on a 7.2 heavy is what I put it on, and
That's
it is
enough, Rod.
I'll tell you this, and Brandon can contest to this. He was right next to me, so they're catching whatever. I'm down there tying as fast as I possibly can because they're all catching fish or firing. I throw that wobblehead out there, dude, and I pick up on it, and one's got it. So I swing on it and miss completely. I'm like, oh man, he didn't get it. So I literally threw it right back out there again. I pick up on it, and it's heavy right away. I hit that. I swear to God, this is the hardest bite of my entire life. Like harder than salt water. I pick up on it and I could just feel like, oh, hit the back of its throat. Dude, I went down on and hit it. It literally took my hand off the reel and and just pulled me and dogged me. And then it came up, and Brand's like, it's a 10. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the biggest bass I ever caught. And I'm fighting it. And I finally get my hands on it. It was the 810. But it was just the most epic bite I've ever felt in my life.
Jeez.
I will never forget that.
That is awesome.
Yep.
I just don't know of another area or tournament where they caught fish like that.
Me and Nick were talking about it. If
What's
one of
stacked
us,
up, you mean?
Stacked up like that.
if one of us had that to herself,
Yeah.
it would have probably beat Kyle's weight on the pass tank. He had
Oh.
130 or whatever he had. It
Yeah.
would probably beat that.
Yeah.
Probably 140 or something.
Oh yeah.
Something stupid.
Yeah. That's
Well,
just,
when you go there next year,
They're gone.
there's going to be.
If you get there next year and you side image it, you're just gonna see bill marks going through
yeah.
the dirt.
Yeah.
No fish.
Yeah. So you think those fish were back there because the lake was so high for so long?
No, there was no cover on the lake. That's probably part of it too. But a lot of the tournaments are out of that Kissimmee River. So the fish either make a right or a left, or make it one of the turns. So a lot of them fish made right-hand turn.
And how far up was it?
I would say it's probably 7 miles,
7 miles
something like that.
up that up the canal, up a river until he hit a dam.
Well, plus, as he said, there was a ton of bait and
Yeah.
there was current.
Yeah,
And
I
if
know.
you have,
I know,
if
but
you have-
it sounds like it sounds like this was a new spot that like nobody ever fished before.
I don't know if they did or not. I have no idea. So a lot of that canal is featureless. You have the drop in the bank, and that's all you got. But when you got up there, there was contour, there was other stuff going on. And I don't know if it was there because when they dug the spillway out, they dumped a bunch of dirt or gravel, whatever it may be down there.
Yeah.
But the crazy part, I found that spot in pre-practice. So in pre-practice, when I went down there a month early, it was miserable, cold, raining, and the whole lake was just completely blown out in mud. So I was tired of not catching anything. So I went up there. I just randomly went up there and I scoped up one fish that was 3 3/4, only bite I had up there. It wasn't exactly on that spot, but it was where I caught that 7 actually that was floating.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I went back up there in practice. I wasn't doing well in the lake. I was like, let me just go back up there.
Yeah.
And that's what put me up there.
Wow.
That's like one of the only times pre-practice actually helped.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
helped in
yeah.
a big way.
Yeah. You ain't kidding. Well, it's good to have some knowledge
Yeah.
about a spot like that. And that's why you do what you guys do, doing that, especially you fished it before, you practiced it before, but then that was another issue or another time that you went back and pre-practiced again, because you never know, you might stumble across something that might be able to click for you sometime down the road.
Yeah, for sure. Hey,
Yeah.
we're constantly learning stuff. I mean, no matter, I can go to the same place 20 times in a row. I'm still learning stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. For sure. Well, that's great. I mean, that was a great finish. And then you had the 10 killer, which was a great finish. And what was
Pass the tank was good.
Pass the Tank was a great finish.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
So that one,
What'd you think of that?
very cool place. If you're lucky enough to live by that place, man, it is really cool. It's super close to here. And
Yeah.
I never knew about it at all. I never knew there was bass in there ever until I
Yeah.
saw it in the schedule this year. And I started YouTubing and saw some videos on it. It's got giants, man. Like I would say that's one place that competes or beats the Upper Bay. I mean, it's got studs, dude.
Yeah. Do you have to run far? I mean,
You don't have to know.
one of the guys did really well was right.
Yeah, Kyle won right there.
Right there, right around the corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were talking about taking a fun trip down there.
That's the place.
Boat ramps everywhere, man.
Literally
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't going out in that
How bad was the run?
Albemarle Sound.
So the Albemarle Sound, here's the deal. So I know a lot. I run a lot of big water.
I know.
I've
Yeah.
done it for years.
Yeah.
But even still at the elite level, there seems to be a little bit of a missing of a common sense thing. Guys would just run right through the center of the freaking Albemarle Sound. I'm like, it's white water out there, and against the bank, it's pretty darn flat. So that's
Yeah.
where my boat ran.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
against the bank. I mean, the depth finder blanked the whole entire time, but I was 100 to the floor.
Yeah.
That's it. 70 mile an hour. I don't know, dude. What's a foot deep, maybe?
That's all you need.
That's it. Hit
Uh,
something. Big deal. It's only a prop shaft. New ones every day.
I rode. It's funny you say that because I fished an Elite Series tournament on the Potomac River. In case anybody doesn't know that.
Wow.
And the last day of the tournament, I was riding with Randy Howell and blowing like a son of a gun. We come out of Mattawoman and all the guys just kept going out on the channel, and he turned right tight.
Yep.
And he's running and like those docks, those big Navy docks sticking out up above there, above, like heading north.
Yep.
He's running like you could have reached out and touched him.
Yep.
I mean, he's running up there and he's Mach whatever. We're flying.
Mach Hal.
And I'm looking out there while he's going up through there. I'm looking out there and these guys are
Yep. That's it. Just taking a beating.
Katoosh, and Randy's like wide open
All
the way up. And then he cut straight across to the other side where the wind changed. We ran a trough across. We got right on the ends of all those docks, and he fired that thing up, man. We were the first boat. I think we were like boat number 12 out of, I think it was well, it would have been the last day. So it would have been, or for me, so it was top 50. We were like the last boat out of top 50, and we passed everybody up there.
I was the same. I was boat 8 day one, and there was probably maybe 10 boats that ran to where I was, and they were whatever 7 boats ahead of me.
Yeah.
And I was there 15 minutes before it even got there.
Yeah.
Randy made a long run in that tournament day one.
A handful of guys ran to the Roanoke, which is
I'll guarantee you Randy didn't run up the middle.
No, like I said, a lot of these guys know how to run.
He knows how to run.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He knows how to drive.
Well, it's funny you say that. My buddy picked Randy's kid up at the St. Lawrence River 2 years ago, maybe. I think it's Hunter. Is it Hunter Howe? I think, or something like that. Anyways, they were going to run close to the lake from all the way east. And Randy told his kid, he's like, look, this is the wind you're going to get tomorrow. You got to run this way and you'll be okay. So they got like a quarter of the way to the lake, and the kid decided, I'm not listening to dad. I'm just going to go the way I wanted to.
Oops.
He said we got beat up so bad. And when we got there, the kid's like, I'm listening to dad from now on, because he knew.
He knows.
Well,
man.
of course he knows. He's been doing it for
Forever. 5
generations.
Yeah. And George, the other thing is Mike had to put in a shameless plug of his tournament.
It's unbelievable. Now I have a valuable tip to add to this conversation. And this is something I learned a long, long time ago on the Chesapeake Bay. We used to have a lot back in those days, for whatever reason, a lot of tournaments were scheduled out of Gunpowder State Park. It's a nice facility.
It is nice.
Tons of parking,
Far
nice
away.
nice boat ramps. But I was either fishing, all the ways up north, or I was fishing, my usual haunts in the Sassafras or Still Pond or all of them. And back then, it was early years of the Elite Series, and we sponsored a local pro by the name of Rick Ash.
Oh yeah. And
on Tidal Water, Rick Ash is his name still resonates in legend. Well, he told me this particular tournament, he didn't tell me where he was going. It turns out we were both going to the exact same spot without telling each other that. Literally the same tree. But he told me, he said, I got a tip for you. Run the closest line of crab pot buoys to the bank, because they set on the first drop.
Yep.
And I remember looking out, and I recognized this one particular boat who was at the time was a young guy, really getting into the tournament scene and a really regular customer in here. And he had a champion boat. And this thing looked like, when those nuclear subs do a quick surface breach and you see them, they shoot up out of the water and then come down like that. That's what his looked like on every wave, because he ran the shipping channel buoys right up the middle of the bay.
Oh man.
Because he was a quiet guy. He was one of his first tournaments. He didn't ask anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody would think that somebody would do something like that. He busted that boat all to hell. And me and Rick, turned out Rick and I ended up being like out of the boat. It was like maybe, it was the end of the year. It was maybe 100 boat field. We ended up being like the last 2 out of the last 5 boats. And he was on front of me. And he had a fast boat. Rick ran Bass Cats. And I couldn't catch him. And that's how I knew we were fishing the same tree, because he sat on it and won the tournament. And I watched. But that tip is invaluable. If you're ever running tidal waters where they crab, the closest row of buoys to the shoreline is the first drop. Stay on the outside of those buoys and you're good to roll.
You got plenty of water.
Yep.
Usually always deeper than 5 feet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing is just download a windy app and you can just see where the wind's going.
Well,
Yeah.
we didn't have the
Simple.
windy app back then.
I know. But
You know what else we didn't have?
There's no excuses now.
We didn't have the internet.
Oh man,
We didn't have that. There was no internet.
I remember that.
We didn't have
I'm old-
telephones.
I'm old enough for that.
We didn't have telephones.
They had to paddle the boat both ways.
Yeah, pull with a rope like this.
Yeah.
Wasn't that long ago because we had 250s.
True that.
Here's another question for you, Greg.
Yeah.
If there's something new that you picked up this year so far, a technique, a bait, something that gives you an ability to catch more fish. Is there something that sticks out in mind that you got a lot of confidence in now, or gives you confidence?
I'll tell you this. So there is a lot of really good minnows on the market, and certain ones do shine and certain bodies of water better than others. The biggest thing that I can tell you that I have built in the last 3 to 4 years is a proper rotation. Let's say practice where I rotate through sizes, colors, shapes, rate of fall, line size, all the above. See, again, you can hate on scope all you want, but I can tell you right now, I have learned more than I ever have if I haven't had it. So like, I would say understanding how to figure out the fish more just by rotation is probably the biggest thing that I have learned, and the importance of color. So let me give you an example. So there's a place that I fish like probably more than anybody by a mile. And I've had days out there where I have absolutely just roasted them. And I didn't catch them all. I literally go back to the same spot the next day, and they will not bite that exact bait that I threw yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I throw the same bait, but I'll throw it in different sizes, and I'll go down to like a 3.5, something smaller. And that's all it took. It's amazing. We made these adjustments years ago. Let's say you're going down the bank with a jig and you were throwing black blue with black blue, and then they weren't biting it. You threw black blue sapphire and caught them all over again.
Exactly.
It's no different, but now we can see it live.
Exactly. That's a great analogy.
Yep.
How many times have you been on a jig bite or you've been on a spinnerbait bite? I was on a spinnerbait bite this past weekend. I went through I couldn't believe I couldn't catch him on a spinnerbait because this guy put me on a spinnerbait bite 2 days before it. That was the best I've had in 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't believe you're eating a spinnerbait. I went through I started thinking. The water dropped. The water cleared.
That's why they had fog that day.
Dude, the sun was out. So I started thinking flash. So I started making adjustments. And, I hit a spinnerbait and lit them up.
Yep.
And I went from nothing and lit them up.
That's a great example too. So you would be surprised on just a minnow. Let's say you're throwing a minnow that has kind of like an OP color. Let's say the day changes a little bit, to get a little bit more sun. You would be amazed what a little bit of sparkle can do in a bait and how they can just react to it, and they can see it so much better. The big individual fish, I'll tell you two things. So when you have fish on scope that are actively hunting bait, so let's say they're in a small wolf pack of maybe 2 to 5, you would be blown away at how many casts you have to make because they're so dialed in on what they're looking for that they're not looking for that individual minnow. They're a wolf pack looking for a big thing. So it's almost like you have to pick off the lead one first to get the whole pack to react. And also for a big individual largemouth, it's kind of weird. Like when I'm hunting, when I see a really big one, if I'm ever on live camera and I'm chasing a fish, generally it's one big one that I'm really trying to get in front of. And there has been, so we were on Champlain 2 years ago, and there was this one giant smallmouth. And I don't know if I had a camera or not, but I bet you I threw 5 or 6 different minnows at this fish. I chased him 400 yards. I mean, I chased him. I threw 5 or 6 different minnows at him.
And what? He's just swimming along.
He's just going. He's going at a good. I'm on 7 or 8 in my trolling. I mean, he's booking. So by the time I threw a drift fry. That's what I called it on. I got to the drift fry, my last one I always rotate to. I threw that freaking drift fry. That thing hit the water. I mean, he went. It was the same cast. It wasn't that the cast was different. It was that there was something about that bait that he wanted.
Yeah.
And it was game instantly.
Wow.
But the logical part of your brain, at least the way I think of it, the logical part of my brain is none of those details can matter to a fish whose brain is this big. That's the logical part. The reality is you're in their environment. And sure, there's days when it doesn't matter. Close your eyes, reach in your hatch, grab out a bait.
Yep.
It's a great day of fishing.
Exactly.
When was the last time you had a day like that? Ask yourself. Everybody out there, ask yourself that. You're going to be thinking for a while, so I'm just going to keep talking for a minute. The reality is that bite exists in windows where it's a great 20 minutes or a great hour or a great 3 hours once you get it dialed in. You know, and I'm always amazed by the fact that logically, the fact that I went from a spinnerbait blade that had blue glitter and a blue glimmer skirt to a spinnerbait with green glitter and a green glimmer skirt. And what happened was with the boat on spot lock, with no fish caught on a 3 or 4 fan cast, it went to every single cast for 5 casts. Now, were they all big? No, but it was 5 casts, 5 fish as a guest on somebody else's boat. And they got their spinnerbait box out. Yep. My buddy's like, and I had 2 of them with me, believe it or not, as a guest, and I threw one up front, and he started catching fish. It's not that their brain had anything to do with it. I just entered their world properly.
Exactly. It could be the how the skies are if they're not seeing it properly.
Yeah.
It's so much different stuff that so anybody that's ever said color doesn't matter should just get out of bass fishing completely, because I always knew it mattered since the very beginning. And now that I can see how much it matters, it's crazy. Like I can tell you this too. So I'm starting to kind of see a little evolution with pressure also, as far as, let's go back to that wolf pack. Once I stopped that wolf pack, I took the alpha male out of the pack. Now you got 4 other guys just floating around. It almost seems like they knew he got picked off on whatever bait I threw, and I got to maybe rotate a different bait for all 4 of them other fish to catch them.
They're nervous.
Something. It's like if a fish sticks around and it doesn't run to the bottom and hide, if it sticks around, it is 100% catchable. It's almost like me going down the bank when they're on a bed. And before we throw a cast, I can tell you that fish is going to eat or not going to eat on the bed. It's almost the same exact thing. If they're going to hover around and stay in the water column, I'm going to get that fish.
All right. I'm glad you brought that up, because this is another one of my theories.
Here we go.
I'm telling you.
I know.
There was a time that I was fishing with a good friend of mine. Now, and we were technically probably cheating, but we weren't like actively cheating. But it was a small derby, and it turns out not only were we breaking laws, but we were cheating.
What the heck?
It was a long time ago, and we didn't mean to.
Oh yeah. All right, here we
but
go.
My buddy told me that if you throw fish back into a school, it turns them off. So we threw them on a live well to sort them out later. And there was a lot of them in live well. There was we could only fit 12 in each side.
Oh my God, George, that's terrible.
This was a long time ago.
I'm not mad.
I feel like you should say how long it was.
Well, it was the type of tournament it was when you get like we do our.
I mean, we're talking early 90s or even.
Oh no, you were in this tournament.
Let me help you. So the guys in my club drink beer during a tournament. Is that illegal?
Well, this was one of those kind of tournaments.
Yeah, so
This was Conowingo 2 weeks ago.
This was Conowingo. This was Conowingo 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was a group of buddies hat tournament. But my buddy Terry said, if you throw the fish back, it turns the school off.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, what do you think about that?
I'm going to comment on that.
Because I think it does.
So if you throw a caught fish back, I don't think it does. If you lose a fish in the school, an active school, like if you throw out there and let's say you hook it and pull it 5 feet off the school, then I want to kind of almost tell you, it changes things up a little bit. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, as far as
not if you throw them back.
Not if you catch them, pull them all the way to the boat. Whatever scent that they supposedly let off, I think by the whole fight on the way back, I don't think that fish.
I thought it was more like
I've ledge fished quite.
That son of a bitch up there. Just do not mess with that.
I've ledge fished now quite a bit, where I can tell you that I have lost them. Let's say I'm throwing a Carolina rig or something. And I hook one and I fight it and it comes off almost instantly. That does seem to hurt the school. But we just shot a video on how to catch them fish by burning a big crankbait through or something to get them to react again. If you can get them to refire, you'll catch them all.
They have a short memory.
They have a short memory to an extent. That's another thing. There's a lot of scientific stuff that we thought was one thing, but I mean, who knew that bass spawn in 30 feet of water?
True.
You know, I didn't know that until I started catching them out of there.
Yeah.
Well, Greg,
Yeah.
so if you release a fish that you came out of school, let's say it's just not big enough,
I'm
you're
gonna catch
throwing
his.
it
I'm gonna
back.
catch his brothers.
Did you take notice? Does it go right back to the school?
No, they tend to hover around the boat for a little bit. They'll just go right down on the ground by the boat.
Okay.
They don't usually go right back to the school.
Those deep spawning fish, were they spawning on timber?
No. So I'm going to tell you a story. So this is where I kind of first learned about the really deep thing. This is probably 3 years ago, I guess now. We were on Murray and I marked, I think it was 198 beds from 15 feet of water all the way down to 27. And this is in 3 days of practice. Almost every single one I ran to throughout the tournament was there. So they're on beds. There was fry garters down there. There was doubled up down there. Deepest one I caught was in 27. And it was there for, I don't know, 3 days when I finally got to it again.
That's freaking awesome.
Gosh.
So, you know, we always thought light penetration, all that good stuff. Yeah, maybe that's true to an extent.
Well, yeah.
When you mark 190, whatever it was, 198 waypoints I marked.
Well, the scope has changed every other theory we ever
Yeah,
had.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like all the fish are shallow, and then they kind of start going off. No. There's no mads out there.
10% of the time we knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
Now, there's one thing I will say. This is Greg Hackey saying this, and I can kind of agree with him now. So we have talked about like, oh man, you think that everybody's off the bank now? You can go to the bank and win. You know, that's John Cox's. You know, he's like, oh, Greg's like, that's not the case anymore because you're catching them fish before they even get to where I'm at. By the time they get to where I'm at, if they even come now, they're already pressured. They're not going to bite. And it's been so true. Like
That is a true statement.
everything's getting one off the bank, not only because of scope, because the fish are just stopping where they're at.
Yeah.
Spawning out deep, doing all this stuff differently.
Yeah.
You know, it seems to me
Yeah.
like this year, however, a lot of these tour events, because of all the heavy rains this country's experienced,
Yep.
a lot of the tour events. Let's go back to the Bass Pro Tour on the Potomac 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
1 and 24 inches of water.
Yeah, well, I will say this. The only thorn in the side for our live scope system is a river system.
And high water.
Yeah, so high water, I mean, listen, the bass is a bass.
Yeah.
It's going to go with the water. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So,
And that Potomac tournament, 2 solid weeks of oppressive near record heat.
even better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything's set up right for that tournament to be fished and won the way it was.
Yep.
Everything has to align for that to happen, or else, let's face it, that tournament would have been won on Main River grass beds.
For sure.
But the water got too hot too quick.
Yep.
The backs of the creeks
Yeah.
had flow because of all the rain.
That's
Yeah.
a great segue. What we're talking about
Right?
tonight. Yep. You're right.
Right?
Yeah. I got to get back to this rotation
Yeah.
thing.
So,
I always thought when these guys were like, man, I'm on the wrong rotation. I got on the wrong rotation. Something happened. I got the wrong rotation. I always thought it was rotation on areas or spots or,
it's both.
their thing.
It's both.
And you're telling me, rotation is in your baits also.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Let me ask you.
I never even thought it that way.
I'll ask everybody this question. If you walk up to a dessert table, you think we're all going to pick the same thing every day in a row?
Right.
we're not.
Right. Yeah. I never thought of thinking of
You-
bait selection as a rotation.
Let me tell you something. This is an age-old thing that I think that a lot of us never understood because we never were faced with it. But I think your big, true swim bait guys, they know how important rate of fall is and how it adjusts and how it changes. That's no different than what I'm talking about with as far as my head selection, as far as on the fall rate of. That's up to you.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong with our powers? Is it hot? Sorry, guys. Our power
pay
is
the bill?
screwed up. Our power is screwed up. I did pay the bill.
It will happen again, I promise.
I don't know what's
And
going
I'm
on
gonna tell
here.
you right now, this building
Massive
is
storm.
properly wired and powered.
I know. I don't know what's going on.
Because one thing we did when SFT was born,
Reborn.
SFT got wired by one badass electrician, and it's done right.
Well, I don't know. I'm sorry about that, guys. One more time of falling apart on you.
Nobody move.
Yeah. It's going to make for a horrible podcast, when I try to upload it in a podcast. But
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I think
Yeah.
it's awesome.
yeah. Anyway, what we were saying was before we were, the rotation, spot rotation, now the bait rotation. And you're saying now
Let me
that you're at this point where even rate of fall is a thing.
Let me make it really simple for you. So if you're a guy that's a local fisherman and you fish the same bodies of water a lot and you're live scoping, you're throwing a minnow, whatever it may be, you can hone in for the most part 90% of the time. If you, let's say, for example, you're throwing a Z2, like a last textile or a Senate jerk shad.
Yeah.
That's your minnow you're picking.
Yeah.
And that's the one they like on that lake.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to tell you is buy the exact same minnow, but every single size they sell, and then just rotate. For example, like the jig head that I like to use a lot. For a Senate jerk shad, I like to use the Z-Man finesse eyes a lot. If I'm throwing like a bigger style bait, let's say a Sakamata shad, it's a great seller. The Horizon head is a really, really good pick. It's a great hook. It just hooks them better than all the hooks out there, honestly. It's got a good keeper on it. But they sell that head basically in the 3.5, a 4.4, a 5.2, a 6.2, all different sizes. I was telling Nick this earlier too. Some of the fish that I've been catching recently, you have to understand, let's say you're throwing a 5-inch bait, and I know this is really digging deep. But let's say you're throwing a 5-inch bait on, let's say the Horizon head's a 5.2 ounce or gram, and you're throwing that on a 3-aught. If I'm going to throw a 5-inch bait with a 3-aught, that 3-aught's going to be about that far back on that bait. When you take that 3-aught on a 5-inch bait, you're basically only letting the tail wobble. If you take that same exact 5.2 and put on a 1-aught, now you got the whole back wobbling because you're taking away the action, which can be really good, but you can also imply more action by using a shorter aught. They're going to bite the bait no matter what, the same way towards the front. You're probably going to hook them. Maybe it might be a weird day where the 3-aught might get you another bite because it's longer, but it's more about the action and rate of fall than anything, and color.
They definitely do bite it. They definitely do bite them head first.
They will. They get on it and they're like, they got their face right against it. They just eat it.
Yeah.
Wait, hey, Wink, when you said about when you would say about rotation, what did you ever think of bait rotation and all that kind of stuff, or was it just like I'm out of sync in my spot rotation, or?
I mean, for me, it became a bait rotation, but not to the extent that Greg talked about. Greg's talking about 5 or 6 baits that are similar, but they're different. I would rotate with different baits. Like I would go.
I would too. I would rotate with different, but I never thought that it was a thing. I just thought you just work through your.
Well, I think what changed it, Greg, you let me know what you think.
Yeah.
I think what changed it is the fact that you can see it.
For sure. 100%. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
100%. I can see how they're acting, following, not looking.
That's
But
crazy.
the other thing is too, don't take away that spot rotation is not equally as important, because it is. Because here's the deal. You might, and a lot of times in tournaments, I figured this out in the tournament. Let's say it's a multi-day tournament, and let's say in practice, my main area that I practiced, I thought was the best area, might not be the best area for that time of the day. The sun angle, all that stuff makes a big difference, whether the big ones come off the bottom and float high, whether they don't. When the sun gets high, what's the bait do? The bait gets high. The fish might come up. All that's still very important. There's been a lot of times where my C spot turned into my A spot.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
So don't rule that out. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Greg, I have a question for you too. I think it's pretty important. We talk about cover and we talk about structure. And many anglers that go to a lake for the first time or whatever, they focus primarily on, hey, I'm going to start at that structure.
Yep.
Whether it's a point, whatever.
Yep.
With the new style of fishing that a lot of people are doing, does that stuff really play as much, or how do you go about picking where you want to start?
So yes, it does play, but I will tell you, as a whole, fish tend to use flatter areas way more than we ever thought they did, whether it's a really expansive flat, or let's say it is a point, but on that point, there's a big flat on top of the point. They might use that more. But I will tell you this, whether a fish is suspending in 10 feet of water or 150 feet of water, they still use the contour below them, as weird as it sounds. So years ago, there's a place in South Jersey called Davis Mill. You guys went there with me. And it's a really good shad lake. And what I learned over the years about that lake was how well, whether suspending or against the bank, but how well the largemouth corral the shad. Now, last year on Smith Lake, I was catching a lot of my fish suspending over about 100 to 120 feet of water. And there was bait pods. Now, I don't think we can see this, but let's just say you got a point coming out that's, maybe 70 on top and falling into 200, whatever it may be. There's some kind of current flow that's still going through there that is hitting that point at that really deep water and still making some kind of turbulence that these fish are still corralling the bait, even though they're suspending. So even on a 2 or 3 foot lake that I fished in South Jersey, it's still the same thing applies over 100 feet of water. We can't see it, but the fish will always be suspending over some kind of contour that allows them to still corral, ambush, and eat.
Yeah.
It's like, Mike, that's such a great statement, because it's like in the early days of us learning how to fish the St. Lawrence River.
Yep, exactly.
We took the Susquehanna River, where we're fishing the push on the head of an island in 3 feet of water, and our number one spot on the St. Lawrence River is a push that comes out of 75 foot of water and hits a 55 foot, where it turns, it goes up real quick from 75 to 55, making a real sharp point. It's still a push.
For sure, 100%.
It's still a push.
No different.
It's 55 feet below us.
And Robert Gee and
whoa.
And those freaking guys.
Turn the mics off. Power's out. Whoa. Sorry.
Son of a gun.
What? No, that's not it. That's a different one.
Yeah, they might know a
but
little
the
something
concept
too.
is the same as to what you're saying.
Always the same.
Yeah.
Currents react to obstacles the same in 100 feet of water as they do. Look at the ocean.
Yep.
I mean,
look at the canyon.
Yeah.
Where all the fish line up at.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Exactly.
Those are
right.
currents that are created by
Mother herself.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
a 5 mile deep canyon coming up to, a half a mile deep, and that water's welling up in there.
No different. That's exactly.
Temperatures are changing.
Thank you, Saltwater.
It's an upwelling. That's awesome. That's good stuff, Greg.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know where you want to go with this, George. If you want to just segue right into, our topic for tonight.
Well, we kind of are.
Yeah. Kind of go into that.
We were segued into it, and then you went rotational.
Yeah, I had to go with that
I'm going to hop in real quick. So
destroyed it.
I told these guys before the show started, if you're a guy that fishes Lum's Pond right here, away, you might want this color right here. I did a tournament. So I have over the last couple, I fish one event there every year, and I have struggled out there with scope. And I could not get their fish to react a lot out there. And I randomly had this color in my boat, and I tied it on, and I freaking crushed them there. So if you're a guy on Lum's Pond, I'm giving you some juicy stuff right here. That was the exact one that I caught him on, that small one too.
Yeah, Megabass.
There you go.
This month for Megabass, or not, I don't know if it's this month. This week. This last order cycle.
Yeah.
They have run. This is called Baby Kingo, the color that I'm gonna get a bigger bait here where we can see it a little better. This is called Baby Kingo, which is a super ultra popular color in the Megabass lineup. And they made available some limited, but we'll take what we can get. And this is a 110, of course. And Baby Kingo, if you're a Megabass guy, hardcore, that's stain reaction right there.
Yep. That's why I bought it originally.
That's stain reaction all day long.
Yep.
And then it's got like this crazy, like shrimpy pink, view to the body. And if you're a stain reaction guy,
so the translucent side of this is what really drew me in, because all them years fishing that Davis Mill pond I was telling you about, when them shad would die off, and I always, if I see a shad on any lake, I always pull it out of water and look at it. Them shad literally have that same exact translucent look, but their organs on the inside kind of give it that same exact pink halo. It's kind of weird, but man, when I saw this, I was like, I have to have that.
yeah, I get it. Well, this color, is like crazy sought after, and so they made that available, and of course we have it in the full 110 family. But guess what? And they said these were going to be limited, but we got some. Baby Kingo Karashi. Oh my. Yum, yum. I think we have a little bit, maybe, I don't know, 24 pieces or so of those. So yeah.
Listen, there's a lot of colors in that wall. And every year I try to tell you guys during my seminars, what the 3 colors you need. This is the new rotation color. I'm not a guy so that stain reaction, just what's the straight white one they sell?
That's like a butterfly, white butterfly.
So like the really hardcore colors,
it's like matte white.
Yeah. So like them ones that are really hardcore like that, they're not in my rotation only until I go to a tannic color water. But these kind of translucent kind of colors can be fished, semi-dirty to clean, anywhere's in between. So this is definitely one of the newer ones that I would highly recommend putting into your
it's good
rotation.
stuff.
Yeah.
I've always been a big time in my color, like my Mega Bass box has some of my OGs that I never lost or broke.
Yep.
And that stain reaction.
It's a killer.
That stain. And you know what? That thing has produced that saved the trip one time for Dave Schindler and myself. We were taking some Pennsylvania Fish Commission decision makers out. Well, it just happened to be like it was here 2 weeks ago, drought conditions. Mm-hmm. And old Dave figured it out, man. That color will play in 90-degree water. That color will play in high 30-degree water. That color plays in numerous water clarity levels. And this is just a variation of that stain reaction. I don't put my boat in the water without some stain reaction.
Me too, for sure.
Although I haven't been throwing jerk baits lately. I will say that.
I have been.
I probably screwed up on that this past weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah.
Love spawn. That's the one.
Yeah. Well, once you go Mega Bass, things get heated.
That's what you got to do. I mean? Yeah.
I got a little more tackle talk for you if you want to spin into that right now. I only got a couple pieces this week.
Sure.
I kept it light because I knew we were going to be busy with our good friend GDP attending.
Yeah. Little long-winded.
Mike, do me a favor and grab me those shirts back there. SFT, Sims, labeled up. Bring that camera on in here, Nick. Let's get tight. So you got your SFT logo on your Sims. You got the slate blue. You got the sterling. And they're all hood.
Hoodies.
All hood.
Maximum protection.
$44.99.
Great price.
$44.99.
Great price.
Got a fresh run in there.
30 at SPF.
Yeah, they're SPF 30. Good stuff. So they're in stock now. We just got a shipment of those in. So the next thing we want to bring to you, this is kind of cool. This is called bite powder. Let's get this out here. Do not take the label off of this jar if you're going to fly.
Yeah, you might be in trouble.
I mean, Just saying.
How to use
Bite powder, gentlemen.
Well, say what you want about that, but that's long awaited. He said he was going to come out with it, and it's finally here. And and explain how you use it, George, because it's not like what I thought you would do with it.
Yeah, you're not like I mean, you could just take it and coat your bait and throw it in the water.
Right.
But this is for like pre.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
and I feel like I'm violating some rules here, because the first rule of Bite Club is you don't talk about Bite Club. Okay? So, I mean, let's just go there. Let's just get that out of the way.
I mean, I guess if you're 30 and under, you probably don't get that joke.
Yeah.
And if you don't,
Yeah.
bad. It was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
So yeah, this is you can and there's a great video on Bassmaster and their archives of Takumi prepping up his baits.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about like
Super psycho
like
about it.
somebody that's all in on
All
the
in.
scent game,
Yeah.
this man has a freaking program.
Yeah.
I might need that. He does good at St. Clair every year. And
Yeah.
I know he's dipping.
Oh, I guarantee you, man. He's
already, but not had it.
he has all of his baits already done like 6 months ago, dude.
No,
You're-
a year.
A year. You see, you're
2
not.
years, he said, right? 2 years.
Yeah, you're
Well,
not.
yeah, like
You're not
like
even.
his tour baits for next year are in his shop
Are marinating
packaged
with that stuff.
in boxes.
With that stuff right
Can
there.
you speed up marination by heating it or something?
Well, that's what microwaves are for.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Same as a steak.
Well, yeah.
This is what's the number one scent we like about baits like Kayak and Jackal?
Squid scent. It's in there.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly.
if you watch that video, it's worth a watch if
Yeah, you sprinkle it in the bag ahead of time.
he ain't using a bag.
Huh? Well, he's
Takumi,
using Tupperware
he's using bins.
bins, and
Yep.
he puts it in the bins, but you can put it right in your bag and sprinkle it in there, and then shake it all up, and then that's
Kind of like you're frying some chicken up.
and you just
I'm sold.
yeah.
taking this one. I'm
Hey,
sold.
all right,
Go
take it
ahead.
over there and add it to your tractor trailer load of tackle that I have to carry out of here after the show's over. Great. Every time Greg comes here.
Listen, my boat is literally sfttackle.com on wheels, but I too run out of back stock.
I'm telling you, man, every time he comes here, it's like this shopping spree that I'm like, bro,
I had a volcano.
I mean,
in my
what
freaking-
happened? Did you lose all your tackle? What
I fish every day.
it's amazing how much stuff you buy. It just blows me away.
Plus, he catches a lot more fish than you do.
Like I catch a lot of fish. Like I asked my wife, you on here? I stink every night. I come in the front door, I smell like largemouth, pickerel, catfish.
He's one with the fish.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
getting back to this bite powder, it's $12.99, and that little jar right there will do a pile of baits. And what it does is it coats the bait like in a thin layer, and then when you put it in the water, it's like gelatin. It kind of jellos up around thickens up around the bait.
yeah. I thought you took it and mixed it in some kind of little concoction and dumped it. You don't. You just spread it in there, and it goes with the.
When it gets wet,
It
it kind of like gels up.
It's kind of weird, man. I don't know.
It's not really weird. It's like gelatin.
Yeah.
And it kind of
sticks right on there then.
sticks real good.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
laughing over here because I'm thinking of you, Mike. You probably looked at it for the first time. Like, hey, probably mix this up.
Yeah.
somehow,
I was
and
like, I got to have a Petri dish and have to put this in here and
If you watch
stir it all up and measure it out right, and then dump it in there, shake it all up, and then does its magic.
if you go to that Bassmaster and
Now,
search that up, watch that Takumi Ito video. It's pretty cool.
well, it's a real deal. I mean, how much money the guy win on it?
Him?
Yeah,
He's up there.
he's consistent with that all the time, and he's a scent freaking master.
I just
so
thought it was a pretty cool deal.
Yeah,
And I'm glad they finally released it in the U.S.
yes, finally.
You know what my favorite thing about the Japanese guys is that they're just slowly giving away everything and we're
Yeah.
just sucking it up.
Yeah, we
Seriously,
are.
like I've learned a lot just by watching
Yeah.
Koya and Taku.
Yeah.
I mean, hats off to them guys. They are literally
Yeah.
top notch.
Yeah.
You think color matters to them?
Oh, them? He's got colors I can't even dream of.
Colors,
He's put little dots on them and stuff.
sizes,
Everything.
the most minute. The thing about the Japanese anglers, the most minute of detail
They have 5 fish in their lakes. That's why.
is not overlooked.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not overlooked. All right. So I got one more thing I want to bring up on the modified tackle talk. And this one really fires me up because I'm a super Fluke fishing machine. I love them. There's nothing I like better than fishing a super Fluke. And I want to put together a little comparison here for you. I don't know if I should say there's nothing I like better in fishing than the Fluke.
That's my favorite cake right there.
Birthday cake?
Confetti.
I'm going to leave that one out.
I can believe that, man. I definitely can believe that.
I'm going to leave that one out.
Cake eating son of a gun.
All right.
He is a
I'll
cake
burn,
eating son
I'll
of
burn
a
any snack down.
gun.
All right.
This goes right on par what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bubble gum. Wait a minute.
You forgetting one?
Nope. I'm not forgetting nothing.
He's dialed.
The bubble gum is Super Fluke Junior. Okay. I'm going to rig that on a 2.0 EWG. That's how I'm going to rig it. Now, you might nose hook it. Whatever. I'm going to rig it on a 2.0 EWG. And I use all different brands. I really like this Nano Coat Gummy. I've been running some crazy success ratios on fluke fishing this year. Here's the standard Super Fluke. This is the bait that every other company, you know how it is with Yamamoto and the Senko, and everybody's copied the Senko? This is the bait that everyone who has made a fluke style bait is copied. It's the greatest fluke style bait ever made.
5-inch, 5.25 actually to be exact.
Now, me personally, I'm going 3.0 on that most of the time. I would like to say
4.0 works well.
I would like to say this year I've been throwing 4.0 a lot because when I needed my 3.0s, I didn't have any. So I put the 4.0 Hayabusa on. And I did very, very well with that. Okay.
We had 100% hookup in our last tournament, Nick, with that.
Now, we'll say this.
100%.
That's real good.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of the elites on the herring lakes. None of them used an EWG hook.
No.
Not one.
There's a reason for it.
They all used a J bend, round bend. So I got some learning to do in that department.
You mean tell you why?
Yeah.
So the main reason why is, and there's another hook out there too that's really good. It's the one that Mike McClellan has. So when I'm gonna pop this open. So when you grab an EWG, when you're throwing a fluke style bait like that, not the problem, but the issue is, so where your line tie basically is almost parallel to where the hook eye is.
Yeah.
When you throw them worm style hooks, your hook is way above the line
Yeah.
tie. So when you're pulling into a hook that only comes out of bait that much, when you're throwing basically this style hook, you're not getting as big of a bite. But when you have just a regular worm round bend, you're getting a way bigger bite on the hook.
And that's a
round bend, offset, or a straight check?
Offset.
They are using offsets.
You can throw a straight check too.
Oh, they're using. Now, when they do a straight shank, correct me if I'm wrong, they're threading them.
Correct.
Yeah, but
now the other thing is too, whatever the Mike McClellan hybrid hook is, it's an EWG offset round bend all in one.
Yeah.
It gives you the best of both worlds.
Oh.
So they're
who makes that?
Gamakatsu.
Oh.
And they discontinued that in size 2.0. So they make 1.0 to 6.0 and they discontinue 1.0 to 8.0 and they discontinued 2.0.
I don't know. That's weird. Guess that one costs too much.
All right, now this is the 7-inch. This is the big dog right here. it's good. Big Fluke doesn't really have the same kind of like fluke action that the standard Fluke has.
Agree.
In the words of the coach on College Game Day, not so fast, my friends. That'd be Coach Corso if you don't watch College Game Day because you're too busy fishing. I understand. This one right here, I've been fishing now for 3 months, and it's become my go-to. It's the 6-inch. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't caught a ton of fish on it. I catch 2 or 3 big fish for what the day's yielding per day. So if I'm catching a bunch of 2-pounders on a Fluke, I'm catching a couple, 3 or more on this. It's happened every single time out so far. So the 6-inch, it darts like a 5-inch. It spirals down like a 5-inch. You can cast it a country freaking mile. I think the thing weighs about a half an ounce. I'm fishing it on a bait casting rig, 7-foot medium fast with 10-pound fluorocarbon and a 5/0 hook. Mm-hmm. The 7-inch here, if you're going to fish this 7-inch, you're going to need to find a hook that's made in 6/0 to fish that 7/0, to fish that 7-inch. I'm not saying I don't recommend the 7-inch. I'm just saying if they ever invent a 6-inch, I don't recommend the 7-inch. Oh, we have a 6-inch. I don't recommend the 7-inch. Leave the 7-inch for the striper fishermen. Mm-hmm. They can't get enough of them.
I'm gonna agree 100%.
Yeah.
And the reason being, so like when I think of Super Fluke, I think of darty, jumpy action. You can't do that on a 7. I mean, you're going to work your arm off trying to get it to do it. You cannot.
It does not. It does not dart.
It glides.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah. It does not dart.
Yep.
It'll catch a fish.
Oh God, yeah.
It'll catch if you throw that thing out there and like twitch and let it fall, you'll get bit on the fall. But this 6-inch, this is a hybrid. Not a hybrid car. This is a hybrid hunter.
Yeah, that gets her done.
This is a combination of
good size. I think it's really going to start shining more and more as the summer progresses too.
Look at that thing, man.
We're going to see a lot more. The bigger bait's going to be around. Then they're really going to start.
We started catching them on this during the spawn.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. I think you're going to see a big time.
Oh, the fall.
The fall is going to be stupid with it.
Yeah, a fall.
Stupid.
The fall is Fluke. Like,
the
Fluke cannot be beat some days.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm telling you right now, when this 6-inch Fluke came out, before I decided that we were going to stock these, I put a sample order in just to see them, and I was really like on this thing because I love fishing a Fluke. So I sampled myself a dozen packs of Pearl White, just in case I liked them.
Yeah,
I have 9 more. I have 9 left.
Yeah, yeah.
I will say this about the 6-inch.
We go through 40 packs of Flukes a year.
So in the beginning of the year,
we do.
You guys remember, I called, I don't know if it was Mike or both of them on the phone. Like, I know they fished the heck of a Fluke. I said, George, what is your whole setup? And he walked me through because I know they fish it way more.
I think I'm fishing the wrong hook.
Well, but still, I mean, the line, the rod, I went over all that with you guys because I wanted to know personally.
I'm telling you, man, we fish that thing like gangbusters, and we go through 40 packs a year of those things. That's no bullshit.
And that's a lot of Fluke.
That is.
We
catch a lot of fish on those things.
For sure.
Yeah.
You guys are in where you guys?
We are. We're in prime. Perfect. We're in prime.
So here's what I've been doing with my prime. Fluke. Now this year so far, my days of fishing just happen to be like days when they're eating well. And like Mike and I fished tournament 2 weeks ago, we caught 10 keepers on a Fluke. We went 10 for 10.
That was pretty good.
That's not normal.
That's pretty good.
Now, if you have a day. If you have a day when you're missing fish, now I do have to investigate this hook because it's become apparent to me. Plus, I saw the iCast release of a new VMC Fluke hook.
What? What's that look like?
Charles, make sure. Yeah, I didn't say that. So
Yeah,
here's
wait,
what I've been doing.
What?
Here's what I've been doing when I'm missing fish. So here's a 3/0, or this might be a 2/0, whatever. It's a sample. So here's a regular EWG. Always mess that up, don't I? It's kind of like backwards. Right? Regular EWG.
Really? How long?
See how the point and the eye are in line? Right there. See that right there? That point and that eye are in perfect alignment. So what I'll do is I'll grab that like this. This is going to be ugly.
I don't think you're going to see it real well, but
It's
There you
almost
see it.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
It's basically the same concept as
Yeah.
just using that style. But
Yeah.
see how above it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the hook I'm going to go to next.
Yeah, I'm going to try that.
But oddly enough, since the Super Fluke was invented, this is the hook I used.
we
So I have a little bit of trouble adjusting.
Yeah, I do too. I have a hard time going with that other one, keeping it straight and everything. And
So
Oh,
here's
no, you never fished this before.
here's what I'm going to tell
yeah,
you.
I'm just saying.
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Buy it in the heaviest shank you can get, because it's gonna allow the Fluke to. So the reason why the EWG, I throw the 4/0 in the 5-inch, because the weight of the
Yeah.
EWG 4/0 in the
Yeah.
5-inch tends to allow the bait to hop and skip just below the surface the best. So if you're going to buy this hook, just buy it in the heaviest available, like an HD version.
Yeah.
Which Gamakatsu makes a super line,
Exactly.
which is probably what this is. But yeah, I can see exactly what you're talking about here. So already my point
It's already pointed up.
is a little up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can see
Yeah.
my line of sight. So that when that thing rides up and that's, you got a ton of gap.
Yeah.
What about nose hooking, Greg? How do
Now
you feel
this
about
hook's
that?
too small for this bait.
I can't share that
Oh.
because the guy that taught me told me not to.
Oh. Well, I
Well,
mean,
the guy that taught us took us fishing one too many times.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
yeah. they're all gangbusters on that. And I am too, but the problem with it is the way I fish my flukes a lot of the times, it hangs up all the time. Like constantly hanging up
So let me tell
in
you,
shallow water.
I will say this.
In shallow water. That's all I'm gonna
So-
say.
We were on Hartwell. I did not do good at Hartwell because I really tried to bed fish, and that's when I got in a bad rotation behind guys. But at Hartwell, I took the fallout minnow on the 4-inch and I nose hooked it, and I left the 2 balls in the very back of the bait. And it kept it from ever getting stuck on top of itself. The weight was in the back.
Kept it from doing what?
So like you're talking about where you're tangling yourself up at?
No, he's talking about getting snagged on the
no
bottom.
snagged. It's shallow
Oh.
water. It's shallow water
Oh,
thing.
no,
It's
no,
a shallow
no.
water
I was
thing.
fishing deep. I was fishing.
Yeah,
deep.
no, it's shallow water thing. Nose hooking to me, the way I fish.
Yep.
I just hung up all the time with it. But so is it a thing? Is it a thing on the Elite Series?
Yeah.
Nose hooking?
Everything's a thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing unturned.
Because everybody I see fishing on TV, they're either throw fishing like now I know it's the round bend offset or
The hybrid.
or the straight shank through the body.
I don't know if I have the right hook here, but
I have to get out of my comfort zone, dude. I really do.
So
I find that to be a big problem with me.
So when it is. Listen, I don't. Okay, yeah, whatever it may be. I don't know why you're stuck in your old ways, me, but still,
I do.
Now talking about the straight shank, I love the straight shank style, but for me, I was throwing the straight shank, but I was leaving the hook exposed.
Right.
When I was doing it.
Right.
You're not weedless.
No, right.
Your hookup ratio is
excellent. But you guys are open water, deeper water than lakes, and I can see that.
So the hook that I was throwing for, running it out of the back was the owner cover shot. Has a small little keeper on it.
Yeah.
That's the hook that I was using. It's a little bit heavier, but still a really fine wire.
Yeah.
Like you're not pummeling when they bite it. I mean, they're hooking themselves right on top of their head.
Yeah.
That's a great hook for that.
All right. So here's a question. 6-inch Fluke, 2-aught, wacky rig hook, drop shot hook.
Like a wide gap finesse type style.
Can't see it. So when I drop shot with a nose hook, I drop shot like this. How would that be for nose hooking?
I don't know.
Pair
Doesn't,
out.
it doesn't do what it's supposed to do then
me,
for
it's
nose
too-
hooking.
it's
Well, how do you
much.
know? You never nose hooked before.
I know, but I understand nose hooking.
I've nose hooked.
I nose hook.
And what I'm telling you is, so when I nose hooked, I threw a number 1 drop shot hook. Number 1, not a one on number 1.
Jeez.
So you're hooking it like this.
Just old school right throw it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, that gives you a lot more pivot. That'll pivot right.
So the bait actually darts
Again,
really
You've
well.
never nose hooked.
Yes,
a
I
fluke a day in
have.
your
I
life.
have. That's why I know I hung up on it a lot.
So
Yeah,
I
I
think
fish
this
it.
is the correct way to hook them. And I have an idea in mind for screwing in a twist lock,
That'll lock it good. Yep. I know what you're saying.
and then screwing it all the way in,
Yep.
as far as you can go, and then go through the plastic and come out through the metal.
Yep.
So you're kind of get a little more life out of these things. I mean, if I'm killing them, I don't mind going through, 50 bags a year, but
They're definitely
Yeah.
a bait that when they're ripped a little bit, they just are not right.
They're terrible.
You got to put a new one.
Oh,
in.
you got to
especially when you're Texas wide gap rigging them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's
It's got
terrible.
to be perfect.
This
absolutely.
nose hooking, you'll know when your bait's worn out because you'll go to fire off the mega cast and the bait will land in your back deck. And it'll be like,
Worn out.
that's it.
Psycho style.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting discussion on what started out as an introduction to the 6-inch Super Fluke. Big news, by the way.
Big.
The Fluke world has been shaken by this news.
50 years later.
They're not doing like crazy custom color runs yet on the 6-inch. They will, but almost all the basics are there.
Yeah. Premier colors are there.
They haven't done a bubble gum yet, but they will. And yeah, so 6-inch Super Fluke. If you're a fluker, you better get you some. $6.59 a pack. And there is 5 in a pack. In today's day and age, that's not uncommon.
Yeah. So
And, Zoom baits are American made. So guess
Yeah.
what? We're not dealing with too much is tariffs.
price increases and going on. Been holding true pretty good.
So there you have it.
Yeah. All
Abbreviated, modified, hybrid tackle talk. Hope you all enjoyed it.
All this stuff is online. You guys can check it out. It's right on the front page and new products on our new product showcase. You guys can go in there and check it out. And when you hit the Fluke button, you have to go through the 5-inch to get to the 6-inch down towards the bottom, but it's all marked new and you can't mess it up. We got a really good selection of them right now, a good pile of them, and I hope you guys check them out.
Hey, question for you guys real quick. On
Yeah.
that 6-inch, are you using the same rod and reel setup as you are on the 5-inch?
You could. I like to fish that 6-inch on a 7-foot medium fast or extra fast casting rod. I'm actually not too happy with the rod I'm fishing it on right now. I'm gonna try to find something a little crisper because that bait has got more resistance in the water. Like that 5-inch Fluke, I can fish that on that same rod, and it's
almost like a medium heavy would work better.
That's what I throw. That's what I started throwing it on.
Yeah, almost a
7
medium
heavy.
heavy would work better.
You need a little more. You need a little more
Yeah.
giddy up.
Yep.
But yeah, love it so far. Love the 6-inch Super Fluke. Do not buy the 7.
So it's hot as a mother.
Not anymore. It was only like 90 today.
Still hot as a mother. It's summertime. It's storm after storm, rain after rain. It's it's the pressure. There's millions of people fishing. What are you doing this time of year, Greg? I mean, the topic of tonight is fishing the jig in the summertime.
Yeah, easily. So still to this day, by a mile, I have won more money doing this certain technique than anything to date still. And So a lot of bodies of water. Now it can be a river, it could be a lake. It doesn't matter. A reservoir. They all have this at some point on the system. So something is always feeding these areas. And, let's say we're on a lake, maybe that's dammed off. But at one time, that lake probably used to be an old river system. And with that being said, whatever tributary is naturally feeding it is where I'm going for a handful of reasons. When you get really, really hot conditions, a couple things happen. The water obviously gets really hot. Besides that, you lose oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, heading to these feeder creeks is honestly the absolute best water on these bodies of water. The cleanest, the coolest, the healthiest.
Mm-hmm.
So years ago, I'll give you a little tip really quick. And I'm not a Lowrance guy, but I'm going to give you a tip on Lowrance. So if you're a Lowrance guy, and I don't believe any other system does this, if you go into your Lowrance and you actually pop out your mapping card and just go to the actual map that shows hardly anything.
The background.
Yeah, for some odd reason, Lowrance always shows natural feeder creeks. Always did.
All the creeks.
Yeah, it only shows the actual feeder creeks.
Oh, just the feeder creeks.
It'll have a little square with a squiggly line through it on the creek. And that is showing you that it's a feeder creek. I don't know why they do it, but they've always done that. So, in tournaments, I'll still pull up my Navionics app on my phone if I'm looking for this kind of thing on a river system.
Yeah.
Even on rivers, like you might have a river that's got a creek, but that doesn't mean that creek is a feeding creek. It just might be a creek that gets water when the tide goes up and the water comes back out.
Right.
Which fish can go in, but when it's dog days of summer, they're going for them natural feeder creeks.
Yeah.
Well,
as we saw in the Potomac.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well, one problem that a lot of us have with these feeder creeks is it's not for the faint of heart.
It's not. And I'm going to tell you something. So doing this style of fishing it's not high risk, high reward. I mean, it can be for Keith Pochet, but it's not. So this just comes down to having the confidence on keep going. That's all it comes down to. So I'm just going to tell you a couple of really key little nuggets that are going to help you instantly. So just remember this. If let's say there's a feeder creek, it's being fed, it's got good current coming down. Before you even enter that creek, I'm going to give you something that's going to help you break it down a lot faster. So just always remember that, let's say you're in a drought. Whenever you have low water scenarios, just always remember the fish go higher. They're going to go opposite of what you think. They're going to go up. It's almost like a trout stream or maybe a salmon run. They try to get to that, whatever is up top, the furthest thing possible. And if the water goes up, it's simple. Just go into the bushes. It's that simple. The fish, when the water goes up, the fish don't tend to go up. They just go in more. But when the water gets low, I always say when the water's low, fish go up. That's just the truest saying because it's always been that way no matter where I have been.
Yeah.
So if you're going to a lake this summer, we're not going through a drought here by no means.
Yeah.
No.
So, but if you were going through a drought, it's been 20 days, no rain. Just know in your mind, you need to go as far as you possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah. Which takes a lot of
Guesswork out of it.
Yeah. But navigation wise, it's tricky.
Yes. So
You're dealing with all that.
this is going to test your skills
Yep.
and balance on a trolling motor.
Yep.
Big time.
Yep.
The faster the water, the better the fishing.
Yeah. You got to get to that first. I mean, you got channel swings, you got inside, you got sandbars, you got rocks, you got now all of a sudden you're dealing with rocks, you're dealing with shallow water, you're dealing with getting over certain areas to get back in even further.
Yep.
And all that starts to come. So it's not for the faint of heart.
It's not.
I wouldn't pass up any of that rock, by the way.
Yeah, but this is a pattern that you typically see July, August, September.
So here's your other thing. So this is a pattern that works really well in February and March because a lot of times your feeder creeks will actually be warmer than your lakes. Unless it's coming out of a spring fed where it's not a spring fed, where it's coming out of something that's just, colder, way colder.
That's a great point.
A lot of the spring fed are going to be a consistent temperature that's
Yeah.
feeding it. And that'd be why a lot of these creeks are really good early on.
Yeah.
And the other nice thing about that February, March concept, which I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
If you're on a tidal body of water that has yellow perch, that's when they spawn. And guess where they spawn?
Up the creeks.
In the backs of those creeks.
Yep. Yeah, this is so true. Like a lot of these creeks will be a lot cleaner, and you can see the forage a lot of times your eyeballs just from down the creeks. So to read a creek, Here's the deal. So if I'm in an elite event, this is what I do. Every creek starts out wide, but at some point that creek is going to get really narrow. When I tell you narrow, I'm talking a flip to the left, a flip to the right. That's all you got. That is my starting point almost every single time.
Can't turn the boat around.
You can't turn the boat around. I've backed out of a lot of areas, or I've made myself an area to back out of a lot of times. That is typically the money area. They're up at some point in that creek. So let me give you an example. If I'm practicing, whether it's local or whether it is a big elite event, that's my starting point. But when do I stop? I stop when I literally cannot go anymore. Probably out of anybody on Elite Series, I probably bump rubber reels with John Cox more than anybody. And I love fishing offshore. Don't get me wrong, but I truly, passionately love doing it.
Oh, no
Now,
doubt.
let me ask you this.
No doubt. I know that for a
Let me ask
fact.
you this. When you're back in the backs of those creeks, and some of these bodies of water, it's a limited number of these creeks. Other bodies of water, there's a lot of them.
Yep.
Most of the bigger bodies of water you guys fish, there's a fair amount of them. And you run into John Cox a lot. Now, does he ever like offer you a sandwich or like a cold
No.
pop or some cookies or something?
He's usually just giggling or something. There you are again. Whatever he does. I love John Cox. I truly do.
Dude. I mean,
We were
the
on
Tackle Shop Live guys have got to have John Cox on the show because
Yeah.
he's in our top 9.
Yeah.
Not saying he's 9th either.
No.
I'm just saying we have so many guys that we love that have been on this show and have not been on this show. He's one of them
Mm.
because we relate to the 10.
Yep.
You know, if you look at the bottom of our jet boat, you know we love to go. That's why we're good peeps with Keith Poche.
No doubt.
I mean, our bottom of our boat, it should have sank a long time ago. And we just relate to that.
I hear that.
And what you're talking about, we relate to. Now, another question. How many props for your Suzuki outboard do you carry with you for backup?
I only have one extra in the boat.
Wow.
So I had the one I'm running and then one extra inside the
Okay.
boat.
That's what we carry too. But our
How many
now,
trolling motor props?
No, I have gone through them. That is the truth. I got a lot in the box in the back.
we ran out Mike and I ran out of trolling motor props over the holiday weekend.
I
Yeah.
believe it.
We had a
We
bad,
had to
bad
fish off
experience.
of power poles for the whole day.
It was
Well,
bad.
we ran out of props.
So let me just keep breaking the practice part.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's summertime. So now going through these big windy creeks takes up a ton of time.
Right.
Now I'm just going to tell you what I do. I don't flip at first. I buzz bait. I just burn until I get a bite, and then I pick up the jig, and that's when we slow down and pick it apart because it's
Yeah.
the best way. Here's the deal: when you got a fish swimming in current, and that meal goes by, he is eating it.
He's
True.
eating it.
So I'm going to go through that creek. There's going to be dead spots, and then there's going to be a handful of really good little sections that got them.
That's true.
That is what you're looking for. You're looking for the sections.
That's awesome.
Now, there's a couple things that you can look for. Once you do this a lot and you're in these little windy little backwater creeks, you can start to read the bends. You can read the bends on the drops. You can read the key areas. Now, one of the biggest key areas that you're going to come across in these creeks is at some point you have a lot of current, and then at some point you're going to come up there. There's going to be one almost slack water area in between all this current in a stretch.
Mhm.
Generally, that less current area is kind of the packing point.
Mhm.
The bait gets to that area, the bait stops there, the bass stop there. It's that simple. If you have a 4-mile creek, there's probably going to be only 2 of these, but they're going to be the key area where the bigger bites are going to happen.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. You can catch some really big ones and then really hard current turns because again, it has the push side. It has all that same effect. I'm only talking 2 or 3 feet of water.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or if you have a creek that's 1 foot forever and all of a sudden you got one little hole that's 4 feet, they're going to be there.
Yeah.
That is where they're going to be hanging out.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Now I have another question for you. Do you, as a routine, carry a chainsaw in your boat?
We're not allowed to.
Oh, really?
So I don't. Not at least series.
Because we saw Octafo bust out a sweet, and I'm not talking about your average Home Depot chainsaw. This bad boy had a bar on it that like a professional logger would run, but it was battery.
Oh, yeah.
And my man leaned out over the front of the boat and cut her down.
Yep. So
Now, are you allowed to do that in the opens?
so here's the deal. So with the opens, it depends on when your official practice starts. Where the Elite Series, I believe the rule, and somebody can quote me if I'm wrong. I think the rule in the Elite Series is the tree has to be dead, number one.
Ooh.
And you can only handsaw cut it, not power saw.
Oh, snap.
I believe that's the rule. I believe. I haven't looked into it for years.
Bust out the old school bow saw.
Yeah, you get your arms ready.
Find
Yeah, that
somebody
ain't
with a
gonna
pet
happen.
beaver.
So
Yeah.
so you're more apt to jump them than try to cut them.
Yeah, jump them or pull them out of the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of times you can
Oh yeah,
crawl the front half of the boat on
boat-
and it sinks, right?
a boat will go. The only thing you ever got to worry about is your jack plate getting hung up somewhere. That's usually. I mean, a boat will go over top of it. You
Yeah.
can push your boat in a trailer.
Yeah.
You can push it
Yeah.
over a tree. That's not
Yeah.
a problem.
No problem.
So
Now, do you carry a slip and slide in your boat
No, I don't have one.
to where you would
Is it Hank Parker?
slide across some
Yeah.
ground? Okay,
Yeah.
just checking.
Somebody did that. I think it was
so-
Hank Parker.
So in these
Danny
creeks,
Joe Humphreys.
Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Hank for some reason.
so in these creeks, Greg, you got current, you got bends in the channel, you got but another thing you have a lot of is a lot of trees.
Yep.
And you have undercut banks.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of undercut banks. And the point that you made and what I kind of picked up on is that little slack water section that is just a little slower than the main current and gives the break for the bait fish and the stacking up point, what you call stack up point,
A pool.
looking for that area.
Mm-hmm.
But also it'd be great if it had trees and undercut bank and all that stuff in there.
And normally 100 out of 100 times that's what you have. You have lay downs the entire section all the way through,
Yeah.
or some kind of undercut bank with a bush hanging over it.
Yeah.
It gets to be so easy after you do it for a long time.
Yeah.
The hardest part is just getting up there and doing it.
And doing it. Yeah.
But then there's so many guys that the places that I fish at home, they just won't go up there for the simple fact of the work aspect of it.
Takes a lot to do it.
It does. But I'll tell you one thing that has made it really simple. And this is you can call it whatever you want or promoting. Spot lock has changed the game for creeks because I used to catch a fish on my Fortrex. And by the time I got back up, I was either in that bush around the corner or I was floating into something really fast or I banged my trolling motor.
Yeah.
As soon as I set the hook, I just go boop.
Yeah.
As long as there's not a crazy amount of tree cover,
Yeah.
it'll spot lock, no problem.
It'll spot lock. Yeah.
That's how we river fish.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as we set the hook on the river,
Yep.
we hit the spot lock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back in the old days when we were guiding, it used to be like,
Now,
what a disaster.
some of these tidal creeks, they don't have a ton of current.
No, usually
Yeah.
the higher you go, the more current you're going to get. Because
Yeah.
it gets shallower, you get to start to get basically current eddies.
Well, we saw this past weekend, we saw a lot of current, but if the current seemed to be like inflows coming into those creeks, and those guys were way up in those creeks. I
Yeah.
mean, they were farther than I'm not saying that. I was in a creek with Randy Howe one time.
you fish there?
Now, was that in an Elite Series tournament?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was in an Elite Series tournament and we went over them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had to stay in the boat. So you one leg in the boat, one leg on the log, 1, 2, 3, whoo.
Yep.
One leg in the boat, one leg on the log, 1, 2, 3, and that's how far we went.
Yeah. See, we can't do that no more.
Yeah. Not allowed to do that?
We can only push to get out. You can't push to get in.
I think we were getting out.
Yeah. Back then you could, I think. Now it's, I think 70% of your.
I think he ran over that log
we
at
have so many
75 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah, we have so many rules now.
I think he ran over that log at 75 miles an hour when we were coming out. We were fishing out. So
yeah.
So
that-
you
that's-
said you when you're pre-fishing, you buzz bait,
Oh yeah.
or even on tournament day you might buzz bait.
I
But
still do. Oh yeah.
when you get bit, you pick up and you just said jig. So you're not flipping, and for the most part, you're picking up a jig.
there's nothing else you need besides a buzz bait and a jig. That
So
is
we
it.
talked about your jig multiple times that you brought out with Nomad.
Yep.
We started talking about it 3 years ago when you were trying to get it approved.
Yep.
And it was not right. It was not right. It was not right.
it was the thinking about part.
And then you hit it.
Yep.
Now, since then, we have all kinds of stories about this jig. Like all kinds of customers coming in here. We're selling a ton of these jigs. You're doing well in this jig. So give us a breakdown on your creek or river, creek off a river, creek off a lake. Give us a breakdown, if you will, please, of the whole concept of how do I pick my jig, my weight, my trailer, and how I designed this jig based on that fishing. Just a brief. I don't want to. I know
No,
you told this story 8 million times.
No, this. I'll talk about something I probably haven't talked about too much. So, in reality, there's only 2 sizes you truly need, unless you have really heavy cover. So, the 2 sizes are a 1/4 ounce and 3/8. All around 3/8 is probably the most versatile. But here's one really cool aspect about the 1/4 ounce jig that the 3/8 can't do. You guys remember when Bill, I'm just going to use it for example. Remember when Bill Lowen won, was that Pickwick? He won Pickwick.
Yeah.
He talked about floating the jig.
Yeah.
So it's no different in a creek. When you have current, the one thing current allows you to do with a 1/4 ounce really, really well is you can float the jig extremely good. And what that means is a very natural presentation because of the weight of the jig.
Almost like you're trout fishing.
Yeah, exactly. So like when I'm in a scenario, let's say either it's a rounding bend in these creeks, or maybe it's just an area that's got a really good amount of current where I can float my jig instead of flipping it into the deeper cover. That's what I'm gonna pick up. So like on my front deck, I usually got a buzz bait, a 1/4 ounce, and a 3/8 ounce sitting there, depending on what color it may be, whatever. But I get to them scenarios where I can float. The floating will get you some more bites. Now I know I said the fish up there are really active, they're going to bite. This is true, but not all the fish come out of the cover for a jig. But when that thing comes floating by really natural, they're gonna bite it. There's no doubt about it. Now, the 3/8, like I said, is probably the best all around for a simple fact of in strong current, I can still float it, but I can really get that 3/8 into the cover way better than I could a 1/4. I know it's only a little bit of weight, but that's a lot of weight on the jig.
It is. It is. The
Yep.
difference between a 1/4 and 3/8 is huge.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we call that trout fishing, and that's interesting that you point that out. Because that's the beauty of fishing in a creek like that.
Yep.
Yep. And it's
It's
kind of cool when you figure, oh, I got to cast it here
Yep.
to let it wash into there.
Yep.
So you're fishing heavy line now.
20-pound test.
Yeah.
Almost. So 20 and 25, I would say, 80% of the time it's 20, but I do throw 25 a lot on the small jig.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
That'll help float it too.
It does. It helps float it, but it just, when I need a little extra power, and sometimes it's just that 25 slows it down. Like you just said, that much more. The guys that fish with me at home, they know all about this stuff. They see it day in and day out with me.
What I like about that jig is I've had the same one tied on since like April.
It's phenomenal. It is literally, it's the best jig ever built. It is quality components, an absolutely excellent hook from the hook company that makes it.
They do make a badass.
That's the Nomad Weebit.
If you guys are new to it, so this is the Weebit. It's got a BKK hook in it. 20-pound test. So I bent one hook out so far in all the fishing I've done with it, and I bent it out on a snakehead. I snagged it right inside, and it took me for a ride. It was like a 10-pound snakehead. That's the only Weebit I've bent. So
a dragon.
Far. It was a dragon, and it was throwing from flames. So, but again, the head design, you guys, I'm just going to say it again. You guys know that I was a really big fan of the Bitsy Flip. So you can tell our head design has that look, but after trial testing a lot of it, we narrowed it down a hair more just to get through the cover that much better. There's a lot of things that are very minute changes compared to that jig that just took this to the next level.
Your weed guard's different.
Weed guard is absolutely stranded perfectly. It's pre-cut out of the package. Skirt, tied skirt. Georgia said you can throw your entire 3 or 4 day tournament and not worry about the jig.
I fished the same one for 3 months.
I fished one. So I brought it into the guys when we first were getting ready to launch. That I won 3 tournaments in a row on this jig at home, and it was the same jig for all 3 tournaments. And I caught the fire out of them.
I remember when you were practicing, you were using that jig in a tournament down in some tidal place.
The pass tank is what I call it.
Is that where?
A lot of them on it.
Is that where you were fishing it?
And that
I think it was last year.
Oh, it was Wheeler.
Yep.
Yes.
And it was like, you at the end you showed us the jig, and it was all freaking beat up and killed, and
paint was still on it,
all that kind of stuff. And it was like
had 8,000 teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a 3-day bender. I caught the piss out of them on this jig.
Yeah.
That was a good example.
Yeah.
But this year at the Pass tank. So one of the hardest things to get a bait through is cypress trees. Cypress trees and knuckles are really hard.
Yeah.
this is the jig that I threw in the passive tank, and that's what I caught a lot of fish on, just dragging this through the cypress. I got hung up maybe once or twice in the whole tournament doing it, which says a lot.
Yeah, that does.
Can we pick your brain a few minutes on the trailer aspect? Because that tends to be as important as the jig aspect.
Yeah. If you're A, new to doing this, or B, just want my personal opinion. So I am a really big fan of the Zoom Super Chunk Junior. So this is a different bait. This is a spicy or kinky beer, whatever that thing is. So this is threaded on. Again, you can thread this Super Chunk Junior the same way, just thread it. We have a really good keeper on this jig.
Show us how to rig one up if you would.
Yeah.
Put that black and blue one on there. That's going to look sexy. You know, green pumpkin with a black and blue trailer.
We just talked about this a little bit ago too.
That's a bad
So there's two ways.
son of a gun.
And years now, you're probably gonna laugh at me. I always rig this thing backwards when I have been doing it since a kid, so I still do it the same way. They don't matter if it bites it differently or not, but when you're hanging one, I always hang it that way.
That's the correct way.
Everybody else does it the other way.
They're all wrong.
Because I think the reason they do it the other way is because the flat part is supposed to glide or recover a little bit better.
If I may,
hey,
if you had a pork chunk and you took it out of the jar, would you put the hook through the skin or the fat?
I don't know. I wasn't around for pork chunks.
Well, let me tell you, that's made out of after a pork chunk, and you always put the hook through the fat side.
Yeah, so everybody yells at me. I got it the right way though.
You got it the right way.
Yeah.
So hanging it does one thing in particular. It's going to give you a little more action, and it's going to give you a little bit larger profile when you hang a Super Chunk Junior on this jig. This is how I throw it a lot. But when I'm
Put a little piece of worm on the hook shank.
no, in a good tournament day, you'll go through maybe 1 or 2 packs. Which, if you're catching a lot of fish, that's still
Who cares?
Who cares exactly? So if I'm just flipping them creeks, I'm telling you about this is how I'm doing it.
Oh,
But when I'm doing let's say I'm in them creeks and I'm fishing a lot of undercut, or if I'm fishing docks, that is when I'm going to thread it because it seems to skip a little bit better when I thread it. So threading it is simple. So now is when I'm going to turn it around, guys. So right where this chunk kind of stops, the big fat part. So I'm going to run my hook right. I'll show you before I do it. Push it up. So I'm going to run my hook right out the center of the very fat part.
mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm going to thread it up. I'm just going to push it up
All the way.
I'm going to turn it sideways first, push it on there, then turn it back. And that's what I'm,
What's that do?
That just, so if you push it straight, it's going to rip with the keeper all the way down. If you do it up sideways and turn it, then lock it in, it's not ripping it.
Who knew? I never knew.
Huh?
simple little hack.
That's a little hack.
Show us the difference.
That's
in
the
profile.
craziest thing in the world. But you're not blown by that?
Oh, I am.
I am.
This weekend when we're jig fishing,
Oh,
I'm going to be twist locking them suckers like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, so you can see the profile
I like that
it
profile.
got way smaller.
yeah.
And not
I
only
love that.
So now the way, like I said, now my flat part is on the skipping side. So
Now you're skipping.
Now I'm skipping. This is so the 3/8. I told the guys from Nomad this when we first got it dialed in. I said the 3/8 is the best skipping jig I've ever skipped in my entire life.
It skips
And
awesome.
I have skipped a lot of jigs. This thing it's like a Sanko, just keeps on going.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
We did have one day though where we actually shot a video of me re-spooling a reel because I had a couple skips that
hung up a little bit.
yeah,
I think I was
caught a hanger sarge.
Yeah, I don't think you rigged up your chunk too good.
I was blowing 40 miles an hour straight down the gut, and I was a little pissed off at the time.
Doesn't help out.
Yeah. So
But yeah, beautiful.
I will tell you this too, guys, and I read about it a little bit. The guys that came in here and talked about it. So green pumpkin, black blue are definitely staples. There's no doubt about it. So we have a midnight matte and a midnight gloss. I don't know what it is about that purple, a little bit of blue and black in there, but man, they absolutely bite it. It's a great color. It's a color that the past tank, that's the color I was throwing. Actually, I was throwing the midnight matte. It's just a really good color. It's a new color. Nobody has that color but us.
We've sold a lot of the fire starter.
The fire starter is a really cool color. It's like a dark hue green pumpkin with a red tip,
but a very subtle red tip.
Very small, subtle red tip. But like all them years where we were dyeing our tips of our crawls, it's the same aspect.
Yeah.
It's like when you see a malting crawfish, whether depending on where the color starts, let's say it's greening out, but the tips are still orangey or brownish. That's what that whole idea came from.
We sell a lot of that color.
I think so.
It's very subtle, the tips.
Yeah, so I want to do one now where we do a black with little sapphire tips. Because I just love black, blue, and black and sapphire. It's just a killer color. That'd be a really good one.
Yeah, we need that.
Yep.
I wouldn't say that on the radio because I know for a fact 7 national brands are watching right now, trying to get their ICAST 27 launches put together.
Sorry, they don't have this jig, so
that's how they get their intel.
So fishing trees and stuff with that thing, you know, I'm curious. So you're coming in a creek and there's a tree laying in the water. Are you firing that thing back up in that tree, like all the way up to the back of the bank? I mean, what are you doing?
No, I'm going to work.
A tree is really, and you got current now. You got a little bit of current, and a tree's a son of a bitch to fish.
Can be. So I'm going to work the deepest part in on a creek style, because like a lot of times if you have a lay down laying in that, you know, hole of the creek or whatever it may be, wherever it fell, that biggest bass is going to be in the deepest part of the hardest part of that tree, the thickest part of the heart. I've caught them all the way through every piece of it, but like it's almost guaranteed if you got something blocking current and you, so now the way that I'm going to fish that tree, I'm not just going to pitch it right in there. I'm going to throw that thing over to past the tree. I'm going to work that jig naturally as hell right down to the tip of that tree. He's going to eat that thing.
Yeah. So you're
so outside in.
Yeah. And then from there, I'll work my way through the tree. But I want to get that. I want to get my jig. I literally want to drag my jig in the creek channel up to the tree or to the outside of the tree. So if the tree's laying here, I want my jig to be coming down like this. My first cast, I want that fish to come out and bite it.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be more than one.
Yeah. Right.
That jig's just kind of
right.
almost rolling with the current.
Yeah. Coming by.
Down. You're shaking it along.
The bass is here. They're coming out, grabbing it, and coming back in.
Nothing to see here, people. Just a little crawfish trying to get past this tree.
That's it. So my
neighbor lives at the next tree down the creek.
That's right. I don't know if Mike Sims is watching this, but I'm gonna kind of give away. He taught me this years ago. So Mike would always throw the jig. Let's say you either have like a little bit of not a current break or a little bend down there. Mike would drag a jig in the center in the center of the creek. There's no trees. He just would drag it. Gosh, you'd be surprised how many fish just live in this.
Wow.
Yeah.
So here's
that's insane.
So I'm gonna tell you something else too. So growing up in South Jersey, where let's say in the beginning of my fishing creek career, where I had no money at all, I always had a really slow trolling motor. So a lot of guys would beat me to the creeks. And when they would beat me to the creeks, I would let them go. We always would call this push fish. And this kind of goes back to what I just told you Mike taught me. A lot of fish in these creeks, because they're only a couple feet deep, they live in the center. So the guy is the first guy to go up there. He might pick off the aggressive fish, but he's running over a lot of fish that he's spooking. Yeah. So as I would come behind him like 10 minutes later, gosh, I'd catch so many bass that we call the push fish because they'd push out of the channel into the trees.
Yeah.
So it's best if you're racing somebody up there, let them just go.
Yeah.
If you can't beat them.
Dang.
I like it.
I'd usually just go, that son of a bitch went up that creek. I just go right past it.
Nope.
Go to another creek.
Let them go and then fish behind them.
Damn
it. You know, another interesting thing about those creeks, the old trees that have been, you fished them when you were young, and now you can see how they're deteriorating. Those old big pieces that lay on the bottom, there's a 2-foot deep hole spun out behind them.
So
from the swirl.
If you're lucky enough to be one of the guys was around to learn, it's almost like you grow with the creek, or not even a creek, it could be in the lake too. Like I'll give you an example. We fished the Salem Canal a lot in South Jersey, and I've been fishing there 25 years. And one of our friends, his name was Tony Rocco. He used to run to this one tree that used to stick out of the water. We used to call it Rocco's tree. We never would go to it if Rocco fished. That tree has been underneath the water now for 10 years, but me and Mike still have the history. We'll say, let's go to Rocco's tree. So we run the Rocco's tree. We know hardly anybody knows about it because they run around back then to learn about it.
There's still pieces of it down in there, but you can't see it.
You can't see it, but I know I can see it on 360 scope. But before I even had any of them electronics, I just always knew when it deteriorated. I still knew it was there,
and it was probably at the right spot on the creek.
It's in a really
it's in the perfect area that you're talking about.
Yeah. So like one of the most common questions that I get during my seminars a lot of times around here is like, well, do you fish history or do you fish what's falling in front of you? when you have history like that, that is absolute fishing history. You need to fish.
Yeah.
You
no
know,
doubt.
Nick, I bet you're sitting over there thinking about some trips on the James. Didn't you fish on the James with GDP?
I never did fish.
You
on it.
never
that
did.
Was, that was set lock.
That was set line.
Set
Ah,
lock.
set
Because
lock.
I
wanna
remember
go to James.
I remember in Greg's early days of fishing the opens when he first started fishing the James.
Mhm.
We had him, do seminars here at the Bass Fest and whatnot. And I remember one time, I don't know why, but I went out the back and I sat down in the back row, and I don't even know. I don't think Greg knew I was in the tent.
New story to me.
I sat back there and I kind of listened, and he talked about the same exact thing. But with the old broken down pieces of wood that he spotted on what was the then hot technology 360.
Yeah.
And his weaponry of choice, because it was a Dog Days of Summer tournament, was a drop shot. And he talked to the people about the hole that was dug out behind those pieces of wood. And that stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
And it resonated because on our river here, if you find like an old rock, like one square rock, like we have a magic rock that in September and October, if the river's really low, there's just one rock. It's like as square as a laptop and 2 foot thick. And it's been there forever. And there's a 4 foot deep hole behind it that's swirled out.
Yeah.
And it's so shallow around it that sometimes you have to pull your trolling motor up and drift in and put your power poles down. And when they're down, they're up. And there can be the most mega school of smallmouth hanging around this hole.
Guaranteed.
And it's the hole because the current's swirling there. And even though there's hardly any current, it's enough to keep in their face and keep the bait kind of like circling in there.
Yep.
And it's just, this whole thing just resonates. And, we watched Ott the Foe literally in a trout stream in the very back of a not too well-known creek on the Potomac. I'll bet you it's pretty well known now.
Yeah.
It's never been a big spot on the Potomac
What
River.
creek was that? I don't even know.
The Baseco.
Oh, yeah.
And he was all the ways in the back of that bad boy. Now, I've been up to the Baseco a ways. I ain't never been up there. He did what you just told us to do. And he actually chainsawed a log on the final day, the night before, the last part of his day 3. He chainsawed a log so he knew he could get there on day 4. And it was the perfect storm, right? It was.
How can that be legal during a
They're
tournament?
allowed to.
Their rules are different. That's all.
Oh,
I think we should be allowed to too.
And he had a sweet setup, man. That thing was like back there in the back.
yeah, I know you're
was
you're
back
just
in-
all jacked up on
Yeah,
this.
but it was
frickin-
back in the, he had back where you put your battery chargers and
Yeah.
your batteries and whatnot.
Yeah.
He had this freaking thing fell down in the spot, and I was like, that's pretty badass right there, man. I mean, he measured that.
No doubt.
Got anything else on us on that jig, Greg? Do you want to spread the love on, or I mean, that to me, I'm frustrated jig fishing. I just gotta tell you, I'm a frustrated jig fisherman. I have one, and somebody. I mean, you can say what you want, but I have one good day out of 20 days of fishing a jig, and I don't know if it's because of whatever, but if it's because the days I don't do well and I only throw it for half an hour or whatever. I mean, is that the case
No.
with a jig?
No, so gosh, if you know the body of water well, here's where this is a creek or a lake. Here's where the jig is gonna, and you all heard this. The jig will get you flat out bigger bites.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So if you can lock one of these in your hand, whether you're flipping grass with it or flipping trees with it, you're probably going to come out on top. If you can commit,
Right.
this comes down to the same confidence it takes you to go up that creek and not stop. That's just locking that thing in your hand. Now, the best part about this jig is a really small compact jig shines in really cold water. A really small compact jig can shine in really warm water. It doesn't matter. The best part about this jig is It is a January to January if you can get on the water and catch them on it.
Mhm.
That's the best part about it. It's power, finesse, bundled
Yeah.
up in one, the best possible way.
Well, that's what I wanted to hear you say. You know, put it in your hand and fish it, and you're going to come out on top.
Without a doubt.
You know,
This is 25 years experience. Me
Yeah.
telling you, like it's a flat out
Yeah,
experience.
true that.
yeah, and that's the thing. You see these guys on TV, and they're throwing a jig all the time, and they're catching fish on it. That's because they have it in their hand all the time,
That's it.
and they know they're going to get 7, 8 bites, and 5 of them are going to be their bag for the day.
If you're fishing to win, man, there's no
Yeah.
better bait to put in your hand than a jig.
That's a good point.
And
Well-
the other thing is too, real quick, you know, a rod can be really important. So like if I'm in them tight scenario creeks, like I'm not going past a 7'2" rod. If you want to bring a 7'6" broomstick up there, yeah, you're going to probably rip them fish out of the cover more than you need to, number one. But number two, you just can't get these little accurate skips and casts with them. A lot of guys are throwing jigs on 7'6" or bigger,
Mhm.
which to me is still just way too much rod.
Yeah,
That 7 to 7'2" medium heavy action will get the job done. We'll sink past that barb on every hook set, but that shorter rod's going to allow you to skip and cast way more accurate than
I couldn't
accuracy.
agree more.
Accuracy. I believe in that 100%.
Yep.
Get to where nobody else is getting to.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Well, Mike, you know, before we wind her up, first of all, thank you, Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dri-
Greg.
I mean, for driving out to the shop, you could have
Could have Skyped in there.
Skyped in, but you know, we really appreciate that.
Now go shopping.
Yeah.
Guys, we're gonna have
Hey, I tell you what I learned. I learned don't buy anything till after the show's over.
guys,
I got this and that coming up.
yeah.
we're gonna have some live on the water with Greg. Probably like next month starting and
more.
and all the way through. I think we have them scheduled like
November.
into the November.
Yeah.
We're gonna do-
Smalley's in November on the river.
We're gonna do four or five lives. We're gonna pick some different topics. We're gonna take some calls. So keep an eye out for those. But in the meantime, next week is a big week for the iCast show,
Yep.
and it's a big week for the SFT team. Cameraman Nick and myself. Mike unfortunately can't make the show this year. He's got some obligations here at the shop.
Sucks.
But Nick and I are going to grind our way through
We
it.
got it, Mike. We got it. We'll
Yeah,
take care of it.
So we're flying down. We're flying down on Monday. We're going to be coming live at you from On the Water Tuesday. And we're going to shoot a bunch of content on the water. You coming down?
I'm getting ready for a Bassmaster Open.
I forgot about that. I didn't know there was. I'm focused on my own world.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
But Nick and I are gonna be there. We're gonna do On the Water Tuesday. So keep yourself ready for some live updates. We're gonna be casting the latest rods,
Yeah.
casting the latest reels,
And
we're gonna be shaking the newest minnows.
Yep.
We're gonna be skipping the latest skippers.
Yep.
We're gonna be swimming the latest swimmers.
Well, the big thing there
That's
is
on Tuesday.
Yeah, but on Thursday, on the way out of the show, you guys are going to have to jump on Facebook, and Nick and George will do, Tackle Shop Live.
We're gonna do Tackle Shop
The
Live.
the best you can do, but it's only going to be on Facebook. It's not going to be on. I'm sorry for you guys from YouTube, but it doesn't work that way for us down there. We don't have that big production system.
It's
down
also
there.
going to be abbreviated.
Very abbreviated. More.
Because,
It's more of.
Turns out Thursday night, MLF is having a meet and greet mixer.
Oh.
So we may go live from the mixer.
It's gonna be a rough
Hopefully
week.
Boyd Duckett's there and we can get him to say a few things. I'm going to wear my hat.
Good choice.
All right.
I'll be packing it.
Well, thank you, Greg DiPalma, once again.
Hold on.
Okay.
We might as well just tell them. So, like,
Oh yeah,
for the Open,
open, right? Exactly.
So guys, keep
Oh, shoot.
Oh yeah.
keep your eyes peeled. So,
This is badass.
for the Bassmaster Open, I got Nick Wink approved to be in my boat. We have no co-anglers in the Opens this year, so Nick is going to be in my boat every tournament day. Hopefully it's 3 of them. So we're going live nonstop during the tournament. So guys, get on there.
Absolutely. That's going to be banging cool, man. That's like a private showing.
Yeah. You're gonna see,
that you can watch.
You're going to see my day unfold really good, or just, hey, I'm going for the win. If I lose, I lose. My day is going to unfold really good, really bad, but it's going to be live. It's going to be raw.
Yeah.
And you're going to see what I'm flipping.
Yeah.
You're going to see what I'm throwing. You're going to see what I'm doing. You're going to kind of see where I'm at. So tune in, pay attention.
There you go.
Cameraman Nick's taking one for the team on that one.
Well, and I'm excited because, every once in a while we're going to go, hey, Greg, what are you thinking right now?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, yeah.
And kind of see live. Like,
get a
how
little
it works.
something. Yeah.
Hey, Nick, think about it. You going to do any practice days?
Now I'm going to be down in Florida.
So you're going to have 3 tournament days potentially.
Yep.
Without fishing. As a host,
That's right.
I got a 60 quart angle just for you, brother.
Yeah.
She gonna be loaded up for you.
Well, I'm gonna be here holding down the fort. The fort, everybody. I'll be here. Don't worry. The shop is gonna be running full speed. We're gonna have a great time. You guys can stop in, check out all these baits for sure, and get your first look at them. But that's going to be a great little deal for you guys. We'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's going to be great. Next week, Nick and I are going to bring you tons and tons of content. We're going to be sporadically going live every day.
Yeah.
And make sure you join us Tuesday for On the Water.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you very much for stopping by, hanging with us for a long show. And thank you once again, Greg DiPalma. Safe travels home.
Yep.
And we'll catch you guys on the next Tackle Shop Live.
Sunny day, right there you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day you called me up, you told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down low and I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair and your beautiful smile. Your sense of humor makes